What can OEF and others learn from business success with analytic modeling? Well, business is in reality nothing more than human endeavor. All social effort is human endeavor, whether you're playing football, you're running a philanthropic organization, or you're running a business. There are certain parameters that end up being extremely important, and there are other parameters that diminish in importance. The more you study it, the more you begin to realize what the parameters are. We call them the drivers, what the real drivers are. And once you understand the real drivers, you now have a certain base level of control over how you're modeling the future. The future cannot be predicted with accuracy. In other words, things will vary from your plan, usually a considerable amount, especially if your plan is a first iteration. But by working your plan, you begin to discover what drivers are very important and what drivers are not so important, so you begin getting the mix right. In addition, you end up understanding that certain drivers are actually distractions. They don't count at all. And other drivers are really profound. They make everything work. By modeling your future, you can, as you go through time, you begin to discover what things about the future are really working and what things about the future are not working according to your forecast. By spending time with your models, your models become better and better with each iteration. In our shop, we call that Wobble. When we start off, our models about the future are frankly very basic, often naive, and frequently not too close to the mark. But if you spend time with them, it's like spending time in a kitchen learning how to cook. You become better at it. You have to be open to honest feedback. You have to be open to the fact that reality is not going to pursue your plan. And so in our shop, we become very, very analytic and very, very open to what things are working and what things are not working. So in aggregate, it ends up becoming more of a path than a plan. But you become highly expert along the path. And over time, you begin to discover what kind of actions you take along the plan are highly productive and what kind of actions are trivial or not productive. You begin to sort things out. Your plan begins to have quite a bit of meaning, and your ability to forecast and to nail the future increases with time. I have a gift in business, and I enjoy it a great deal. I call business fun because I'm good at it. Some people throw a football and are quite good at it. But to be honest, it is not deeply satisfying. I wouldn't call it fulfillment, I would call it fun. And as I age and realize that I have this one gift in life, which is to operate a business, I find it less satisfying. My capability is as strong as it was, but it's less satisfying. It's still fun, I enjoy it, but I find myself gravitating towards larger questions, questions like, how do we want to leave the earth for our children and our grandchildren? And so I guess it amounts to using one gift, that is how to make money, to indulge in helping humanity eradicate war, which I think is really very troubling to me. It's not just troubling because it's needless death. I have to confess that I find myself existentially troubled. I find myself thinking that this is not the race I want to belong to if we can't get beyond it. I really believe that we are getting beyond it. I'm not, I don't believe that it's going to happen very quickly. I think it's very easy to fall back, but it is clear over the last centuries that we've been getting better and better at it. We've cured a lot of diseases. We're on the verge of curing polio. I think we can also cure war. So the short answer is I'd like to use the one gift I have, which is how to make money, to transfer to something that I think is far more satisfying and gratifying. I think a lot of us in the world of sponsoring peace are somewhat troubled with the rap that we have, or that peace is unrealistic. It's for dreamers. I think that's not true. I think those of us who have studied it realize that we create war and we don't have to, and that humanity has the real and genuine capability of moving beyond this behavior. If we can move beyond polio or other incurable diseases, I believe that we have the capability of becoming a peaceful species. I don't believe, frankly, that this will happen in my lifetime, but I really do believe, as the experts do, that this should happen in this century. I think in order to make it happen, we have to get on it. We have to set a goal. We have to plan. We have to bring in the experts who have the knowledge on how to make this work. We have to coordinate our actions. We have to take care of the spoilers. There are an enormous number of spoilers. War is easy to get into, and it's reasonably hard to prevent. But we can prevent it. It's our doing, and therefore it's our solution. It will probably take a different attitude, moving beyond the war paradigm into a peace paradigm. Will probably take hard-nosed analysis. It isn't just going to take the kumbaya crowd. It's going to take people that look at this as a real disease and look at this as a behavior that humans collectively can conquer. I believe that we have a lot of the ingredients on how to make the world peaceful. I think a lot of these ingredients are already working. For example, women in power. I think we know intuitively that when women are in power, they invest in things differently than men. So I believe that a world where women share the stage equally in power will be a more balanced world, and therefore will become a more peaceful world. I believe, for example, that economic development is extremely important. If we all have what we need, if our basic needs are met, if we have a job, if we have aspirations for our children, if we have good education, if we have clean water, if we have enough food to eat, if we have the resources, then the world becomes prosperous and our need to compete violently for resources diminishes. I think that we need to move into a new paradigm. For some reason, we get stuck in realities that we think are absolute. We inherited these realities.